It's Bob and Tom Tonight, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, Ace Cosby, Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and Tom Griswold.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Who's that sexy man with a deep voice? Ace Cosby, here he is with his joke of the day.
What kind of dogs love auto racing?
I don't know.
Lap dogs.
That was Ace Cosby's joke of the day.
Oh. Because you see.
Okay.
Seriously, what are you laughing at? Seriously.
They're lap dogs, you see. The cars are racing and they're lapping each other. And there's the phone.
Hello, Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, Bob and Tom, it's Donnie Baker.
Hey,
Hi,
Donnie, how
Donnie.
are you?
Now, the only thing worse than that joke is today at work what we got all face.
What?
You know, when the office slack-off comes around with them NCAA brackets trying to hustle you out your last $10.
Oh, yeah. Every office has it.
I stay clear of them brackets, Tom, because my investment plan for the future is solid and long-term.
Oh, yeah?
You know, rubbing scratchers.
Nice.
And I swear to God, that's the smartest path to retirement. And I stay away from 401ks and then 409. You know, one thing for sure, no IRAs ever getting my money. I'll let the Irish Republican Army fund themselves. But since most of you are probably going to go ahead and play them brackets, let me impart some of basketball wisdom on you.
Oh,
All
you know something about basketball?
Oh, I probably know more about beating this system than anybody I know of. Don't look at no rosters, no records, or them phony strength of schedule stats. Who needs a headache? Instead, just look at the team nicknames. Then see how they match up. I swear to God, it's true. Like, don't never bet on a mascot that's an endangered species. I mean, if they can't survive in the wild, how are they going to survive a full-court press?
Oh, good point.
It's common sense, man. And in an animal species matchup, always go with the most badass creature on paper. For example, like in a matchup between a bear and a bison, you take the bear every time.
Okay.
You know? But watch out for the school color factor. You know them teams that add a color to their name, like the Golden Bears. You're going to watch out for Golden Bears. 'Cause trust me, a standard bear is terrifying, but a bear that'll take a leak on you is even more. God. Okay, now moving on to smaller creatures. This is where it gets tricky. Gator versus beaver. That's a no-brainer. But a badger against a wolverine, that's where you default to the sound the animal makes when it's cornered or riled up. And I'll prove my point. Chick, would you be so kind to do your dead-on badger impression? There you go, man.
Yep.
Swear to God. I mean, that defines fear. That's real proof to bet on the badger. Now, when it comes to bugs or insects, hornets are your best bet there. But then there's a whole genre of historical human names. And this real confusing category because it spans a bunch of years, maybe even decades.
What's that?
Like Vikings.
Oh.
Cavaliers, warriors, knights, hell, even chicks, adorable commanders, pirates, buccaneers, all sorts of badasses in there. But if I got to pick one, I'm going with Trojans. Because the fact remains, Trojans always take it to the hole, don't they, Christy? Swear to God. Anyways, I better run the store and get a fresh brick of my favorite Lucky Dub Doublers. See if I can scratch my way to an early retirement. And good luck with your brackets.
Thanks, Donnie.
Well, in reality, Donnie, Trojans were just a
The
myth
IRA,
anyways.
An IRA is not the Irish Republican Army, by the way. It's a retirement fund. You might want to look into it with a qualified financial professional.
Run by a guy named Roth.
Yeah, okay. I look up at the big screen, and we're Zooming with comedian Greg Warrant, who has a poster behind him. It says Warrant Cherry Pie, referring to the band Warrant, and of course their big hit Cherry Pie, with a subtle,
Tastes so good, make a grown man cry, Tom.
subtle shot of a woman apparently dropping a slice of pizza.
It's kind of falling in front of her vagina.
It's a cherry pie. I'm sorry.
You notice that?
Yeah.
Like whenever the photo was taken, the guy snapped it just as it was in front of her vagina.
Pizza.
Yeah, so
It doesn't say Warrant Pizza Pie, does it, Tom? It says cherry pie.
Today is not pizza day. It's pie day. 3/14, 3.1415.
What does pie have to do with vagina? Answer me.
I have no idea. You're the one that calls it that.
Let me apologize in advance, Greg. Since today is Pie Day, and typically you have a poster behind you, usually of something Warren-related, like the Warren Report, so you'll have Earl Warren, since this is the Warren Report. Today, Warrant, close to Warren. Very good. Very clever.
Well, I figured Warrant is close enough.
Yeah, especially with Pie Day. Yeah.
And tying both those things in, so thank you. Is our topic today pie?
No, it's not, Tom. I wanted to talk about New Coke today.
Oh, a fascinating story. I genuinely love this.
Yeah, it's a fiasco. A fiasco.
Oh, boy.
Let's go back to the 1980s. Coke was the number one soft drink in the 1980s,
Yep.
but Pepsi was gaining on them rapidly, and they were doing it through marketing, mostly advertising. They had Michael Jackson doing a lot of their commercials back then. They were the choice of a new generation.
They sure were.
Yeah, that was their advertising campaign. It was very effective. I remember when I was a kid, my grandma got me a Pepsi Generation card. It was like looked like a credit card, and it was the only thing I had in my wallet when I was like 9 years old. It got you into movies for like 50 cents off or something, and I still have it. Oh. Don't have my Social Security card or my birth certificate, but I've got that thing.
You still have your grandma?
No. Both of them passed away. Thanks.
What is wrong with you today, Josh?
Grandmotherless? Yeah, me
he's
too.
a jerk.
Me too.
It's been like this all day today.
Fair question. You brought her up.
They don't take the Pepsi Generation card at the DMV, by the way. Just in this, I had to go to the DMV last week to get new plates. And I never have any of that stuff. And some of it, I mean, do you have your birth certificate? My birth certificate, that document is 53 years old. I also don't have the Declaration of Independence. But back to Pepsi. Pepsi was more nimble than Coke back then. They were able to change a little quicker. Pepsi was the first one to have a diet soda. In 1964, they had a Diet Pepsi. It took Coke till 1982 to get Diet Coke.
Wow.
They did have Tab. I don't know if you guys remember Tab.
Sure.
It was
Yes.
in a pink can.
Yep.
I drank one in 79, and I still have the aftertaste. The most harsh aftertaste you can ever imagine. So Coke was in trouble, guys. Coke was in trouble. Pepsi was gaining on them. While they were developing Diet Coke, they stumbled on this formula. They figured if you took Diet Coke and made a couple of adjustments and put high fructose corn syrup in it, you got a sort of smoother, sweeter version of Coke.
Oh.
And they tested this thing. That's the thing that people don't realize. They tested it for like 4 years. They ran 200,000 taste tests, and it was regular Coke, the new version, and Pepsi, and people kept picking the new version. There was a very small group of people that picked old Coke and got angry, and they probably should have listened to those people. So they went forward. The other thing they probably should have done, they should have just kept old Coke and then had a new flavor of Coke.
Right.
They didn't want to do that. They did not want to do that because it split the brand, and that would make Pepsi the number one brand.
Oh.
And Pepsi would have probably, being the number one brand, they would have got into places like McDonald's and Wendy's and theaters. And
so the new Coke would have been the Ross Perot of sodas.
Oh, well done.
Very well done.
Absolutely. Or the John Anderson.
Split the party.
Go back a little. I mean, if you're talking 80s, you would have gone John Anderson.
Yes, but Ross Perot was a more effective spoiler.
He probably was.
I go with Josh on this one.
Thank you, Tom.
Fine. This is what it didn't happen in the 80s is all. I'm trying to keep it in the 80s. So Coke goes forward. April 23rd, 1985, they launch New Coke. And they do it. They're kind of cocky about it. They're arrogant. They think we've got this thing. We're going to change the world. They made the announcement at the Lincoln Center in New York, which angered the Southerners. And it made them mad. It says here, Pepsi employees infiltrated the press conference at Lincoln Center. They asked questions to throw off the Coke execs, which I don't know what questions they were asking to throw them off. Like, excuse me, sir, what were you eating under there? Underwear. You were eating underwear under there. No, I wasn't. Get this man out of here. I think he wants some Pepsi.
If a plane crashed on the Canada-U.S. border, where would you bury the survivors?
The U.S.?
You don't bury survivors, dummy!
Get this guy out of here! Get him out of here! He works for Pepsi! So when they launched it, the first few weeks were pretty good. People preferred the taste, but they didn't realize that people had a very strong emotional connection to the old Coca-Cola formula, and that's when the fun started. They did all kinds of stuff. They dumped it into the sewers in Seattle. There was an Astros game at the Astrodome, and they played a commercial for New Coke, which was Max Headroom going catch the wave, and the whole audience booed the commercial. They didn't like it. This is one of my favorites, Marietta, Georgia, which is an Atlanta suburb, and Coke is, made in Atlanta or headquartered in Atlanta. There was a Coke delivery man at a grocery store, and a lady attacked him with an umbrella and said, "You bastard, you ruined it. It tastes like crap." And you ruined it. There was a Pepsi guy in the aisle, and he saw this and started laughing, and she went after him with the umbrella and said, "You stay out of it. This is family business. Yours is worse than crap."
Yours is worse. That's amazing.
Yeah, so they went on the news and they said, "Hey guys, we're sorry. We didn't realize that people had such an emotional connection to Coke." And what they wound up doing is they kept Coke. They kept the new Coke, but they called the old Coke Coca-Cola Classic.
Yep.
And then eventually they called the new Coke Coke 2. It was like a Roman numeral.
Oh, I don't remember that. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's Coke the Second or Coke 2, but they did that in 1992, and then they got rid of it in 2002, and in 2009 they got rid of the Classic. It's just Coca-Cola now. Nobody got fired over it. Nobody at Coke got fired over it. Now, there are some people that believe that they did it on purpose, because after they went back to Coca-Cola Classic, Coke started kicking Pepsi's ass. They started doing really, really well. It's just not true.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. The research I did, I don't believe it. I think it was a huge blunder. They say we are not that dumb and we are not that smart.
Where was I? Oh, I have this is kind of this is almost an Allie Breen question, in a way, but I'm going to ask you, Christy.
What?
A friend of mine has a real problem that I don't think he is aware of with enormous nose hair growth.
Oh, jeez.
It's me, isn't it?
No.
It's me. Go ahead.
No,
It's funny you'd say this. I just saw someone the other day with this thing.
And I was talking to someone about it, Kelly. I was talking to Kelly about this, and I said, well, could we gift him a Norelco nose hair clipper? And she said, no, that would be incredibly awkward.
Why don't you just tell him?
Well, I mean, you think would you, Josh, what would
I would have, if I knew someone. Now, the person I saw was a total stranger, so I wasn't going to say anything. But if I knew someone, I would say something.
Tom, you know what Josh is going to say. Well, I just say you talk to them. All my friends, I have a talking to relationship, and there's not
your
any
thoughts,
problem.
I'd like to be communicative, yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
You'd walk up and say, hey, booger,
No.
you got a big...
No, well, what's the issue? Is it just the nose hair, or is there always things caught in it?
It's just disgusting.
All these things.
So it's just nose hair,
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive nose hair. I mean, you can't...
How does he have a wife?
Does it whistle when he talks?
Does he have a wife? This is an important question.
Yeah.
I would talk to her.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
Maybe she
I'd
thinks...
go, hey, does he not mind all that nose hair? Let me see what she says.
Maybe she thinks it's sexy.
Do we know him?
No, you don't know him, but I mean...
How often do you have to see him? I don't know that it's worth saying anything.
Oh, yeah, I was just kind of wondering if there's a standard operating... Did you get like a nice card with a little poem?
I was going to say call him and hang up, but
I mean, it's serious.
Calling who now?
I mean, there's a lot of hair there.
I can't imagine his wife didn't say something.
Well, she obviously hasn't, or he wouldn't have all the nose hair.
I know, that's what I mean.
Set up a fake email address.
My nose hair's really growing, man. Really. But I have a trimmer, yeah. I have to get in there once a week.
Really?
Yeah, because I have gray nose hair.
You're having a growth spurt.
So it's not, so the gray nose hair is so noticeable. So I have to trim those out.
How about the pubes? Are they staying true to
I'm
form?
not getting any gray there. Not yet.
Wait till you do, because there's nothing like a distinguished-looking penis.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Like a Supreme Court-esque.
Give him a tweed jacket. My goodness.
Well, thank you.
Hello.
Oh.
Can you grab that?
Hello, Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, fellas.
Floyd!
I've enjoyed your windbag program.
Oh, good.
I couldn't help but notice y'all were talking about nose hairs.
Yeah, I got a buddy I'm trying to... Do I tell him he's got a nose hair problem?
Somebody needs to tell
It's
him.
disgusting.
Well, being on the road regularly, I don't have a lot of time to tend to mine, and Big D's on me all the time about it. She says it's kind of hard to tell where the nose hair ends and my mustache begins. Said I kind of look like a young Bob Seger. And mine is so dense and springy, it's kind of like barbed wire. If I was to clear it all out, I'd probably need to rent a bush hog. And boy, I really hate when it starts growing around my nose and heading uphill, kind of like the ivy on the brick walls at Wrigley. Boy, looky there. I just saw the first sign of spring.
What's that?
What?
Cypress boats stacked up between pumps at Mr. Fuel.
Christy Lee is at the news desk. What have we missed?
In case you missed the story, it's illegal to pump your own gas in only 2 states in America, New Jersey and Oregon. But there's good news, bad news for those in New Jersey. Bad news, gas prices all-time high. Average price of gas in New Jersey was $4.35 a gallon, up 35 cents since last week. Good news, drivers in New Jersey may soon be able to pump their own gas. According to NBC News, the New Jersey lawmakers introduced a bill that would give gas station owners the option to offer full-service fuel, self-service fuel, or a combo of both. Assemblywoman Annette Chaparro said it's going to save people money at least 15 cents or more per gallon.
Yeah, good timing.
How much did it go up last week?
35 cents
Wow.
a gallon.
Yeah. It's going to be $7 a gallon pretty soon.
It is in L.A. already.
Now, Pat, don't you have a tribute to New Jersey?
Sure, I could do something for you. First draft Springsteen. Here we go. Pump a little gas after school. Smoke a cigarette because it looks cool. Oh no. Flames getting high. Ooh, I'm on fire. Then he changed it after that. He got more poetic with it.
Yeah. Let's,
If you're new to pumping gas, don't smoke while you do it.
God, no.
Don't do that.
Oh, I've seen it happen.
What?
I have seen
You've
people do
seen it happen.
Absolutely.
You can do it. Just be careful.
Wait a minute. You've seen someone smoking but
I've
not
seen-
burst into flame.
No, I've seen some idiot smoking.
Watch the entire show live or on demand at bobandtom.com or listen live with the Bob and Tom app. And be sure to tune in next time for more Bob and Tom Tonight.